You can't see me.
Hey everybody, welcome to JoshuaGaming.com. Today is Thursday, September 1st, 2011, and it's been kind of a quiet week across the markets. Gold is literally within $1 of what it closed last week at, 1830. Now it did drop down into the 1700s earlier this week. Correction, a lot of people saw it coming after it hit 1900 last week, but really that 1830 has really been where it's seemed to stay all week. So same thing with silver. It's stayed at about 41.50 all week, hasn't really moved. Dow Jones is up a couple hundred points. Stock market's up a little bit. The dollar is up 50 cents. It had been hanging around $74, even dipped down a little bit lower than that, and it's up to 74.50. So you all know I'm not just the one that reads the stats. I try to give my insight as to what's going on. And a lot of times, in the short term, it's tough to predict what exactly is driving what. When you have you got big investors that move the markets, and then you got the small time investors that all add up and can move markets as well. What I think's happening this week is we had such a big week last week, and so many investors waiting for last Friday for Bernanke to give a speech in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And to hear what the Fed might be doing. When he gave that speech, he didn't say a lot other than that they were going to keep doing whatever it takes. But he didn't give any clear indications of what the measures they were actually going to do. He did say they were going to meet for a couple of days in September, which is now this month, instead of one day like they normally do annually, which led a lot of investors to believe, the Fed's going to keep taking action, which is probably going to keep pushing up gold. And of course, anytime the Fed comes out and says they're going to do whatever they can to help the economy, that's always good for Wall Street. So we saw that shoot the markets, both the stock market and the precious metal markets, up on Friday. Nothing's really happened this week, indication of either way. So I think maybe next week when Obama addresses the economy, I think that could be big, and I think that could really shoot up precious metals, gold and silver, because of course, coming up in election time, he's going to say things people want to hear. And with him saying that the economy is not recovering the way that it should, I think he'd be a fool if he says it is recovering well. So I think he's going to say, it's not exactly what we want. We're still doing everything we can. That's going to shoot up precious metals. But we'll see what happens. This week, it's been kind of quiet. The manufacturing report came out, and it was down. Manufacturing is down. Big surprise. So and then the jobs reports come out tomorrow, and I think they're going to be a little bit less bad than in the past, but it's certainly not going to be good news for the economy. So, these things could have a small effect on gold, but the main reason I think that gold and silver hasn't risen this week is because of that dollar going up to 74.50, the dollar index. So, long term, if you put all these things together, what it means is the government and the Federal Reserve are going to do whatever they can to stimulate the economy. This means more money, more debt, a decline overall for the dollar, and an increase in precious metals. So it should be fun. Been kind of a quiet week. We're going to see some big stuff when Obama talks. I think that should move the markets a little bit. And then near the end of the month, I think around September 20th, when the Federal Reserve meets again, like I was saying, they're going to meet for 2 days. Based on whatever they come out and say after that meeting, I think that could really move the markets too. So it's been kind of quiet, but the stock markets have went up, and that's probably good news for a lot of people. And gold's seeing resistance at 1830, but it still hasn't seen the correction that everybody's talking about. So maybe the correction's not coming. I don't know. I'm just speculating. It totally could come, but regardless, long term, what I think about the trend for gold and silver: up, 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 and the trend for the dollar: down, down, down. So I'll continue to give my 2 cents worth, and if you're not following the headlines, you don't follow the markets, you can tune in here, and you'll definitely be kept up to date on what's going on. Anyways, have a great week. We'll talk to you soon, and go Ducks. Opening day Saturday. Ducks are going to slaughter LSU. Taking it to the SEC, baby.